common question that I get a lot in the comments is, well, how do I find repeaters? How do I connect to them? And ultimately, it's actually pretty easy, especially if you have access to internet service. If you have access to internet service, simply go to Repeater Book or Radio Reference, and they should have a list of almost all the repeaters in your area, GMRS or amateur radio. Now, for the more complicated question. If I don't have access to the internet, how am I able to start plugging in all of these repeaters? Especially whenever it comes to 2 meter and 70 centimeter repeaters, which are most of the repeaters that you'll find in amateur radio, you'll find that they all have the same offsets. For 2 meter, it is 0.6 megahertz, either in a positive or negative direction. The closer you are to 144 megahertz, the more likely the offset is in a negative direction, and the closer you are to 148 megahertz, the more chance there is that it'll be in a positive direction. So if you see 145 megahertz, the likely chance is that it'll be in a negative offset direction. And if you see 147, it'll be in a positive direction of 0.6 megahertz. Now, what about 70 centimeters? That pesky 400? Well, if you're in 70 centimeters, then all the repeaters are always in a positive direction offset of 5 megahertz. Meaning, if I'm at 443 megahertz, well, then I'll be transmitting at 448 megahertz with a plus 5 offset. Now, what about GMRS? Well, it is actually the exact same thing as it is for 70 centimeters. It is always a plus 5 megahertz offset. Well, how do you find tones? Well, tones help you access repeaters, so to find them, some radios actually have a tone scanning tool. And ultimately, even if you don't have a tone scanning tool, you can just keep plugging different tones in until eventually it works. I didn't know the access tone for this repeater, so I started plugging them all in, and now that I have the right one, even if I just kerchunk it, I get access to the repeater almost immediately.